In today's video, we're going to continue to discuss energy, how to build it and how to invest it. Let's go. All right, we're inside of my computer. Let's dig into it. So here's what we're going to cover today. First of all, how to build energy, how to spend energy, how to transmute energy, and then how to express energy, and then finally a summary at the end. As always, make sure that you subscribe on YouTube and follow on Instagram for important updates regarding the course. Share the course as well. We need you guys' help. Let's start a revolution and change people's lives together. And also a slight warning, right? This is the most important video in the entire course right now, so make sure that you watch the entire video. Don't skip around, don't fast forward, and a pro tip, watch the video in double speed if you want to save yourself some time. But before we continue, I want to talk about this. So which warrior has the highest chance of survival and victory? So we're going to have 3 different warriors here, right? And all of these warriors, let's just imagine that they would go to battle and fight each other at the same time. And which one of these warriors do you think has the highest chance of survival and victory? So warrior number 1, he's going to fight with low energy. He's not really going to care that much. Maybe he hasn't slept, or he's just going to fight with low energy overall, right? Then we have the second warrior. The second warrior is going to fight with min energy. He's a little bit more on the ball, he's caring a little bit more, and he's going to fight with like mid-range energy. And then finally we have a true killer, right? He's going to fight with the highest energy, with true aggression, and really attack them with everything that he's got. Who do you think has the highest rate of survival and the highest chance of victory in this fight, right? The lesson here is pretty simple, okay? Highest energy wins. And this applies to everything. And I want you to think about this as well. If this would be you, 3 different versions of you, and you're going into battle and you're going to start your business, or you're going to change your life and make more money, which warrior do you want to be? Do you want the warrior who fights with low energy, or the warrior who fights with high energy and true aggression and really goes after everything that you've got, essentially, right? And I want you to start to think about this more and more, how important energy is, because again, the lesson here is simple. The highest energy wins. The person with the highest energy wins. Don't forget that. It's super duper important, right? So let's continue to discuss now how to build energy, right? So it's crucial that you learn the importance of energy and the potential it yields, right? Energy is everything. Without it, you die. You must start to respect your energy. Don't waste it. Invest it. Take care of yourself. It's so important, especially when you're going to start a business, you're going to lead yourself, and in the future, potentially you're going to lead other people as well. People that you lead, they're going to look up to you, and you need to look up to yourself as well. And you need to start to take care of yourself if you want to have long-lasting results in your life and in your business. It's about time that you start to take yourself seriously, because this is a realization that I had. Like, if I'm going to do it, I might as well just go all in, right? Instead of just dabbling around, right? All right, let's continue. So energy traps. Step 1 to improve your energy is to subtract, not add, all right? Identify your energy traps, and the keyword there is your, because everybody has different energy traps, right? Your negative habits that drains your energy, essentially. We all have our vices. We all overindulge in something. We're not perfect. Identify your energy traps and try to remove them, right? Because that's the next step. So once you've identified your energy traps that are unique to you, that you're battling with, your demons essentially, right? Basically what you want to do is just acknowledge them, accept that they are a problem, and simply make the decision to remove them. You can do it. We're habits of creatures. If there's a will, there's a way, right? So energy boosters. So once the energy traps are removed, now you will naturally save more energy on a daily basis, essentially, right? But you also want to boost your energy even further. And you do this by valuing your sleep, diet, and exercise. This is crucial, right? And Gio has walked you through all of these things in detail right now. So the main idea here is simple, right? You identified your energy traps with basically all of the things, the vices that you have, your demons that you're battling with, and you remove those energy traps. And by just doing that, naturally, you're going to start to build more energy. But then you want to boost your energy even more, right? By optimizing your sleep, taking care of your diet, starting to exercise, starting to think better in a more positive way, doing more loving things, helping more people, and so on and so forth, right? And we talked about this in the welcoming video of this module as well, that you don't want to have poor sleep, poor diet, no exercise, no meditation or rest, no positivity or love, not spending enough time with your friends and family. This is how you have like a battery pretty much on 0 or less than 0, right? And also important to remember that we talked about in the first video is that energy is like a water dam. If you don't control it with an outlet, it will burst. It must flow somewhere. You can't keep it. You must give it an outlet. The question is, do you have a positive or a negative energy outlet that you spend your energy into? So we talked about the negative energy outlets, right? That most people, they just have very little to begin with, but then the little energy that they have, they basically spend that on like drama or negative relationships or negative thoughts and negative self-talk or entertainment, like they're actually paying attention. They're literally paying their attention or paying their energy. It's costing energy, and they're paying that energy into entertainment too much on social media, on Netflix, on games, or whatever it might be, right? Or they overindulge in their pleasures, like sex and porn, which is like an epidemic that's draining their energy like nothing else, or like food, alcohol, and drugs. They're eating too much, or they're drinking too much, or they're smoking weed, or whatever it might be, right? So we don't want to do this. We want to identify our vices and just acknowledge them, understand and accept that they are a problem, and make the decision to remove them, essentially, right? And then what you do is that you start your energy boosters, right? That we talked about. So you start to improve your sleep, your diet, your exercise, your meditation and rest. You start to think more positively. You start to do more positive things. You start to do more loving things. You start to help more people. You start to basically help out and spend more time with friends and family. And you start to build up your energy, right? So remove the vices. Naturally, you will start to build up more energy, but then you want to do the energy boosters as well, as we talked about here, to actually optimize and take care of yourself. And then you want to spend this energy out in positive energy outlets, because you cannot keep the energy. Because if you just keep the energy, it's going to burst. And normally what happens if you want to keep the energy is that you're going to go back to your negative habits, because that's the only thing that you know, essentially, right? Because if you don't create new positive habits or a new positive energy outlet, then by just default, you're going to go back to the old ways that you've doing things in the past, right? So once you start to build up your energy and you start to like get a lot of energy because now you're actually taking care of yourself, you need to remove your old vices, and then you need to implement new positive habits or new positive energy outlets. So for example, that can be the strength training, and Gio has talked about that. He is giving you like a workout plan in detail that you can do for the next 90 days. And we're going to continue to talk about this further down in those videos as well, with the 90-day challenge and so on and so forth. But strength training is a great way to kind of put your energy into, because when you have a lot of energy, you can attack the gym a lot harder, and it's not boring, because like you actually want to go to the gym because you feel so much better, because you can take out your energy on something, essentially, right? Also work on your business. That is draining your energy a lot. Like you can work like 10 hours straight. Like yesterday, for example, I basically yesterday was Saturday. I was working 10 hours straight yesterday, and I could work for 10 hours more. Like it was easy. Like my body was tired. Like I could see, when I looked myself in the mirror, I could kind of see that my eyes were starting to get tired. But my energy, like I could just pour more energy into it if I would like to, right? So you can put a lot of your energy into your business. Also thinking and imagination, that we're going to talk more about in the further videos now here in module 5 as well. Like that is taking a lot of energy, like actually learning how to think and setting aside time every single day, because we're going to fix your daily schedule and so on and so forth here very soon now as well. And also actually putting aside time every single day to do thinking and do like using your imagination in your business. That's powerful, and it's costing a lot of energy, but that's like it's costing a lot of energy, but you're going to get a ton of return. But because this is really the only way that you can get ideas and new plans for your business to actually get some results, right? Because a very common mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs do is that they're stuck in the work, essentially, right? They're waking up every single morning, they dive straight into the email inbox, and they have a client at work, or they have an email to respond to, or they have this thing and that thing to do, and they never get time to think. But thinking is the most important thing that you can do as the owner and as a leader of your own business. You need to think into the future and kind of know where you're going. So it's very important that you set aside time for thinking and to use your imagination in relations to your business to actually know where you're going. So again, we're going to talk more about that soon, but spending your time and energy into thinking, super duper powerful. I cannot stress that enough. Also, a very important thing that you can spend your energy into is obviously like loving things, into your family, into your friends, helping them, giving back to them, providing for them, not only monetarily, but also like emotionally, and being there for them, and so on and so forth, right? And this is an interesting one, because as you invest more and more of your own energy into love or helping other people, This is really, really powerful because you can spend energy on that and you get more back. So for example, if you help out others, if you can help millions or billions of people out there in the world, you're gonna get a lot of loving energy back that's going to benefit you. So really, like a rule that I live by is that the only way that I can help myself is to help others. And also when you start to because it's very easy to understand, right? If you have a family or a dad or a mom or a sister or a brother or a son or a daughter, when you give them love, you get a lot more love back as well, right? So you actually spend your energy on love and you get more energy back. So you're spending it, but you get more back. So it's a very interesting one when you use your energy for that as well, right? And here's an interesting story for you. And this just is like a small caveat to today's video, right? And this is something that I read in a book a long time ago. I don't remember the exact name of the book. I think it's like the monk who sold his Ferrari or something like that. I think that's the book. But the story basically goes like this. So there's a master and he has his student with him. And he's basically going to teach his student how to shoot a bow and arrow, because this master is like a master archer essentially. He can do everything with a bow and arrow. It doesn't matter what it is. Every single time, if he wanted to hit something, he could hit it no problem at all. So the master basically asked his student, what do you think is going to happen if I put on a blindfold, right? Because you can see on the image here that the master has a blindfold on him. So ask his student, what do you think is going to happen if I put a blindfold on? Do you think that I can hit the target with a blindfold on? And the student says, of course, master, you can hit everything. And there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to be able to hit the target. So the master basically picks up the bow and arrow and he makes sure that he has his blindfold on, and he basically loads his bow and he releases the arrow and he misses the target by a lot. It's not even close, right? And he takes off his blindfold and he looks at his student, and his student is like, he's shocked. It's like, he doesn't understand, because like the master to him is like a god essentially, right? And the student says like, master, I don't understand. I thought you would hit it. And then he tells his student, well, how am I supposed to hit the target if I cannot see the target, or if I don't even know what the target is, right? So let that sink in for a second, right? Because this is important. Because if you don't know what your target is, if you don't know what the thing is that you're going for, or the target that you're trying to hit, it's going to be impossible for you to hit that target essentially, right? And this is a very powerful analogy and a very powerful story to remember, that you need to have a target. You cannot just work and just go in 10 different directions, because you're never gonna get anywhere, because you don't even know yourself where you want to get to essentially, right? This is where a definite chief aim comes into the picture, right? And having a definite chief aim, or basically having a target that you're striving for, and knowing where you're going with your business, it is crucial. It's like, it's mandatory. You shouldn't even start a business if you don't have a definite chief aim, because it's useless essentially, right? But sure, you can possibly start a business or a social media marketing agency and get some clients and make some money for yourself, but you're never going to get to your big goals because you don't even know where you're going. So you have to identify a definite chief aim. So let's discuss that now. So why do you need a definite chief aim? Well, you must know where you're going. It's pretty simple, right? You must have a long-term goal and a definite chief aim that excites you. You must have a purpose that you can work towards and invest your energy into towards that goal. It's super important that you have a goal, because you're going to forget your goal. If you don't write down your goal, you're going to have one goal today, and then in a month or two, you're going to have another goal. And then 2 months after that, you're going to have a new goal. And you're just going to spread your energy in 10 different directions. And after a year, you're going to be back at where you started, because you've just gone in circles essentially, right? And there's a very powerful quote here as well. If you don't know where you are in 5 years, you're already there, right? So if you don't know where you are in 5 years, you're already there. Meaning that if you don't have a goal 5 years into the future, you're going to be in the exact same spot as you are today, because you're not going to get anywhere. So if you don't know where you are in 5 years, you're already there, because you're not going to progress anything essentially, right? So a very powerful quote, right? So how to create a definite chief aim. And let me just tell you a quick story here as well, because it's powerful with stories, and this is a story that basically how I changed my life forever essentially, right? And this goes back to 2013. 2013 or 2014, where basically I was starting to look into the entrepreneurship journey more. I was working jobs that I hated, and I'm actually going to show you a picture right here. That is a picture of me, basically the job that I hated. I was working in a warehouse. It felt like I was walking inside of a prison, essentially, right? There was no windows, and it was a pretty good job, right? It was a warehouse, and it paid okay, but it was so boring, right? So I was basically working that job from early mornings until like 4 p.m. And when I got back home, I was desperately looking for something else to do. And I basically got inspired by a man, like one of my first mentors, by actually looking into entrepreneurship, like what is an entrepreneur? So I bought a very cheap course. I started to learn some more about SEO and so forth. And inside of that community, I got in contact with a guy who knew a lot more about entrepreneurship and some online marketing and stuff like that than I did at the time, right? So I actually got I think it was his Skype or some type of direct message or Facebook, I don't remember what it was. But I basically started to ask him a lot of questions. And he didn't really respond to me. I was basically just continuing to sending messages to him. And then one day I just got a message back from him. And he basically told me that like, hey Max, like you should read Think and Grow Rich, right? And that is the book right here. So I bought this book, and it wasn't actually this exact book. I think I showed you the first Think and Grow Rich book that I bought. But I bought Think and Grow Rich, and I think this is one of the more like beautiful versions of it. And he told me like, hey, you should buy and read this book. And I was like, why? And he told me like, yeah, it's the entrepreneurial Bible essentially. And I did. So that was his gift to me. So I bought that book. And when I started to read that book, that was when everything changed for me. And the core message in this book is about a definite chief aim. To write down your goals, and we're going to go over that in more detail here in this video very, very soon. But with this story, basically why I wanted to tell you this story, because when I bought this book, and I started to read Think and Grow Rich, that's when everything changed for me. That's when I got my goal. That's when I started to look into like I actually knew where I was going. I wrote down my goals. I started to get excited about the future. Then I found my other mentor that I worked for free for 6 months, and then I got a salary for $3,500 per month. Then I got commissions earning close to $10,000 per month doing SEO and Amazon affiliate marketing. Then I started my agency and so on and so forth, right? So everything started with this book. So that's my story about Think and Grow Rich and how I got hold of it. And now I want to give you the same gift, right? I want you to buy this book and read it and implement it, because it has the power to change your life. It definitely did change mine. So yes, hope you're going to enjoy that one, right? Okay, so think big, right? So because you might as well think big, right? If you're going to think, and if you're going to set up a definite chief aim for yourself, you might as well just think big. If you can think small, you can think big as well, right? So think a lot bigger than yourself as well. If you can control your energy and invest it into your definite chief aim, you will reach it essentially, right? So think bigger than just money. Have an impact on the world, help others. And your definite chief aim is going to, you're going to have different iterations over time. And in the beginning, I understand, because I did as well. In the beginning, you just want to fix yourself first. You just want to start your business, start to earn some money for yourself first. And that's really the way you have to do it, right? You have to help yourself first before you can help others. But I still want to plant that seed into your head that you're going to set the goal like that, most likely in the beginning, that you want to reach $10,000 per month, or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or $100,000 per month. And if you follow everything in this course and you start to respect your energy as well, and you put all of your energy back of that goal, and you read Think and Grow Rich, and you start to learn and implement all of these things as well, you're going to get to that goal. You're going to be able to help yourself rather quickly, right? Especially when you're going through this course and you have all of this information. But here's the thing. Once you reach those goals and once you start to help yourself, that is going to become pretty boring, right? And you're not going to have that purpose anymore, because you've accomplished that definite chief aim, right? You've accomplished the purpose of helping yourself. And then once you get there, because this happened to me, like once I got there, I kind of lost my purpose. I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? Like, am I just going to earn more money? Like it didn't really excite me that much. So that's why I want to instill this seed into your head right now as well. That once you get there, and once you actually have helped yourself, you need to create a bigger goal where you include other people, like actually helping more people. And that's why I wanted to do this course as well, right? Because that's the most exciting thing that I can do. If with this course, I can help everybody and anybody with this course, and it's a free course, so there's literally no excuse why it cannot reach the entire world, right? I can help millions of people with this course. And so that's really my purpose right now. I just want to help as many people as I possibly can. So think big, help yourself first, but as soon as you've completed that quest of helping yourself, quickly create an even bigger goal where you include the world and how you can make the world a better place or help more people or your family. And even better, if you can include that from the beginning, if you can have that vision from today, what your vision is in 10 years and how you're going to impact the world and how you're going to make more money and how you're going to donate money to different charities and so forth, right? You have to have that in place as well. So think big. And then Think and Grow Rich, right? So it completely changed my life, and I'm 100% sure that it will change your life as well, but only if you implement the lesson every day. Write down your definite chief aim and read it every single morning and night, no exceptions. So in chapter number 2 in this book, he goes over how to create the definite chief aim and how to write it down, and that you should read it every single morning and night. And we're going to talk more about that in here, as we continue with this video as well. So what I want you to do right now is to go to maxpearson.com/Napoleon and actually buy this book. There's different versions of it. It can look a little bit differently, but the actual book in itself is going to be the same essentially. So buy that book. It's the best investment you can make. It changed my life forever, essentially, right? All right, so now let's continue. The next thing I want to show you is the definite chief aim. So if you go to maxpearson.com/chief aim, I want you to start to write out your definite chief aim right now. So maxpearson.com/chief aim. Once you get here, let's just read through this together, right? And you have Bruce Lee here. I'm going to explain what that is here in just a second. But use this as a template to create your own definite chief aim. It's powerful. It has the potential to change your life completely, but only if you actually write it down and read it every single morning and night. Ignore at your own peril, right? So the people who go through this course and don't do this, right, you're going to regret it, right? This is so powerful. And the people who do this, they're going to run laps around the people who don't do this, right? So here's basically the instructions that you have inside of the book as well. So in chapter 2 on desire, this is basically what Napoleon Hill explains to you what you're going to do. So first of all, write out a clear, concise statement of, first of all, the amount of money you intend to acquire. 2, name the time limit of its acquisition. 3, state what you intend to give in return for the money, very important. And 4, describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. And 5, read your written statement aloud twice daily, once before retiring at night and once after arising in the morning. As you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. So it's very important and very simple to do as well. So you basically just sit down either in front of your computer right now, and you can remove this or just write it underneath. You can remove this image as well. It is not important. I'm going to explain why I have this image in here in just a second. But basically what you want to identify is just how much money do you want to earn? How much money do you want to earn per month? What is your goal for, do you want to get to $10,000 per month, or do you want to get to $100,000 per month? Or do you want to get to $1 million per month, right? But in the beginning, I'm sure it's better to start with the goal that you feel like you can achieve. So with this course, you could easily take to 100K, but maybe start with 10 or 20. And then as you get to 10 or 20,000, you can increase it to $50,000 per month, right? So the amount of money you tend to acquire, write that down. Also, name the time limit of its acquisition. So are you going to get to 10K a month in 90 days? More than doable. Or do you want to get to 20K in 90 days? It's also definitely doable. Or do you want to get to 50K in 180 days or 6 months, right? So write down how much money you want to earn per month. What's the time limit? When are you actually going to achieve that? And then also state what you intend to give in return for the money, right? So what is going to be your service? It's so here you can mention this actual service that you're going to help your clients with, but you can also go into more detail what you're going to go give in return. Obviously, you're going to sell your service, but you're going to give your all, you're going to over deliver, you're going to be provide as much value as you possibly can. Maybe you're even going to start to donate a little bit of the money that you make. So I donate 1% of all revenue that I make in my business every single month to Charity Water. And so not 1% of profits, but 1% of everything that goes into my business, I donate every single month, and I might increase that even more as we go on. Is that right? And this, I can't stress that enough. So it's important, because again, the more you give to the world, the more you give back. It's just the way it works, right? And then number 4, describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. And you have the plan in this course, so that shouldn't be too hard to do, right? You know exactly how to do your outreach. You have your sales in place. Maybe you need to set down different parameters about how many people you're going to reach out to. to every single day, or how much money you're going to spend into ads or whatever it might be, right? Describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it, right? And then again, write it down, and then you read it twice every single day. So you read it every single morning just as you wake up, and also you read it every single night before you go to bed. All right, so maxpearson.com/chief aim, go there, and then you basically just start to write out your definite chief aim underneath here. And also what you can do in this document, if you want to, is that you make it fun. You can find some images. Maybe you want to buy a certain thing as you get there, or you want to buy your first apartment, or you want to buy a watch or a car, like whatever that might be. I'm not recommending that you start to buy a bunch of stuff. I highly recommend that you start to invest your money in the beginning. But if you have something that you want to achieve, or like you want to see yourself in the future, like find images on like Google or Instagram or whatever that might be, and just kind of make this a document that you want to read every single day, because you see your future, right? You're creating your future, your vision right here. So definitely do that. And the reason why I included Bruce Lee here is because Bruce Lee bought Think and Grow Rich back in 1969, and this is basically his statement. And he said, "I, Bruce Lee, will be the first highest paid Oriental superstar in the United States. In return, I will give the most exciting performances and render the best of quality in the capacity of an actor. Starting 1970, I will achieve world fame, and from then onward till the end of 1980, I will have in my possession $10 million. I will live the way I please and achieve inner harmony and happiness." Bruce Lee, 1969. And this is so cool, right? Because he did exactly this. He achieved everything, and he read Think and Grow Rich, and that's why he wrote this thing. And you can see the actual definite chief aim that he wrote here, right? So my definite chief aim, Bruce Lee, 1969, and this is the text, right? So it is powerful. And when you do this, like, weird things starts to happen. Like, just do it and just follow on. Just do it every single morning and every single day. All right, now let's continue. Talk about spending energy, right? So spend energy. As you start to build up your energy and stop wasting it, you now know that you need a positive energy outlet, right? As you start to build it up, you need to spend it somewhere, right? You can't keep it. It must flow somewhere. The question is where, essentially. Where do you spend your energy into? And you now know where. You now know where you should spend it into, essentially, right? So the first thing that is very, very powerful is to spend your energy into your business. Basically work, essentially, right? And now when you have your definite chief aim as well, now you're going to review your goal every single day. So every single day when you wake up, like from today and a year into the future, you're going to spend your energy into the same work and be aligned within the same goal. And that's why you need a definite chief aim, right? So put time and energy into this course, for example, and that's going to be like in line with your definite chief aim and in your work as well. Into your definite chief aim, as mentioned, pay attention every day into your business, right? Get yourself closer and closer every day to your goal by identifying it and working towards it. Like, this is true freedom. This is how you achieve freedom. Another way that you can spend your energy that's very powerful is your health, right? So improve your sleep, your diet, and exercise. You now know exactly how to do this. Geo has given you all of the details on how to do this essentially, right? And if you're not going to the gym, now's the time to start to go to the gym, right? So build a stronger version of yourself. With a lot of energy, you will gladly attack the gym every single day or every other day if you go to the gym 3 days per week, essentially, right? You will have the positive aggression needed to put every ounce of energy into it. Because if you're draining your energy daily, you're sleeping poorly, you're not eating good, and you're not working out, and you have like negative energy outlets that is draining your energy even more, like going to the gym, like you don't want to be in there. But as you build more energy and you start to have like an overflow of energy, you can't wait to go to the gym because you need to spend it somewhere, essentially, right? And also it's super powerful to invest your energy into the gym because it provides you with health, and health is wealth. Like, unless you have health, you have nothing, right? And then finally, thinking. So this is super important. So this is the most powerful and most important point of this video that I want to highlight over and over and over again. You have a supercomputer, right? Your brain. So why don't you use it? And because most people don't use their brain, right? Most people don't use it at all. Like, thinking and using your imagination and building plans, it costs energy. It costs a lot of energy. And you now have a lot of energy, right? So invest a lot of your energy into thinking. It will not only feel good because it gives you like an outlet, it will also make you a lot of money. So here's the cool thing. And we're gonna talk about like different types of energy that you can feel, right? It's basically feelings. When you're basically resting restless. And you like, or you have aggression, you can feel anger, or you can feel joy, or you can feel sadness, or like you can have your sexual energy as well, that we're going to talk more about, which is really the most important, like powerful energy that you have. But as you feel energy, like you have to get it out somewhere, right? So you can do the work, and you can do like work into your business and put like and go to the gym and improve your health and so forth, right? Those are very powerful. But the most powerful thing that you can do to like spend your energy and like transmute your energy, as we're going to talk about here in just a sec as well, is to take that feeling that you have, that sadness or that anger or that sexual energy or that aggression or whatever it might be, and then you use that, like transmuting it into thinking about your future, using your imagination to come up with new ideas, because this is draining your energy like nothing else. Like you can see your energy like the battery bar, and as you start to transmute your energy into your imagination and thinking, and you do that every single day, you can literally feel, like, let's say your sexual energy or your aggression or your anger, you can literally feel that like go away simply by transmuting it into thinking. And it might sound weird, but as you start to do this yourself, you're going to feel it yourself. So thinking is going to be your best friend, because it's going to be one of your like most powerful outlets that you have to like get rid of your energy, because you don't want to have too much energy, because you don't know what to do with it essentially. But then as you start to think more and more, it's going to be a relief for you. It's geez, now I don't feel like that, like I don't have that like crazy amount of energy anymore, by simply just thinking and like transmuting it into thinking. And doing that thinking is going to give you more ideas, increase your creativity, and you're going to basically make a lot more money into your business, because you're going to come up with new smart ideas that nobody of your competitors, nobody else in your market is thinking about. So you're going to get that competitive advantage as well. Like this is the most important thing, because you have a supercomputer up here, and most people don't use it. Most people don't care. They basically use their supercomputer to, I don't know, like watch Netflix, or like decide if they're gonna eat chips or chocolate, or if they're gonna drink like Coca-Cola or like a Red Bull or whatever, right? That's kind of their decision making on a day-to-day basis, right? But as you start to build more energy, you have this supercomputer, you have this processor in your head that can accomplish huge things. We can fly into space. You just look at Elon Musk, right? He has the same supercomputer that you have. Most likely he has like some type of God-given super processor, right? That is like, he obviously is super powerful, to have a super powerful brain, but you have so much more potential than you think, right? So you just need to start to use it essentially, right? Every day, spend time every day thinking. 30 minutes before bed before you go to bed, and also 30 minutes in the morning as well. Read your goal and imagine your future. Talk out loud. Think. This is where you get all of your new ideas from. Ignore at your own peril, right? This is the most powerful habit that I have in my personal life. This is where I get all of my ideas from. And without built up energy, your thinking will not work as efficiently as well. And truth be told, if you don't have energy, you don't want to think. And if you don't have energy, you don't want to go to the gym. You just want to relax and sleep and kind of recharge. It's basically your body telling you that, like, hey, Max, or hey, John, like, you need to build up your energy, right? Let's just recharge and sleep, get some meditation, and eat better and sleep better. That's like priority number one for survival. But as you get that in order, and your body and your brain having too much energy, like now it's like, where should we spend it? Like I need to get it somewhere. Like attack the gym, attack the business, and spend more and more time into thinking as well. And I'm mentioning it right here that you should do it 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes before you go to bed as well. But I'm going to give you, we're going to talk more about this as we continue, and I'm going to make sure that we get this as an ingrained habit into your life as well. So we're going to have like check boxes that you can check off every single day that you actually do this work. So now let's talk about transmuting energy, right? So here's some super important thing, or some very, very, very powerful things. So I'm just going to read through this essentially, right? So the emotion of sex has back of it the possibility of 3 constructive potentialities. They are: 1, the perpetuation of mankind; 2, the maintenance of health. As a therapeutic agency, it has no equal. Or 3, the transmutation of mediocrity into genius through transmutation. Sex transmutation is simply and easily explained. It means the switching of the mind from thoughts of physical expression to thoughts of some other nature. And this is Napoleon Hill in the book Think and Grow Rich, in chapter number 11, he talks about the mystery of sex transmutation. And this is super, super, super powerful. And the first time I read this, I didn't really understand what he meant by like transmuting your energy, right? But as you, like step number one again, is that you cannot experience this unless you have the energy first. So again, this is why I'm talking about this over and over again. You need to like remove your bad energy draining habits, what's costing energy, and you need to fix your sleep, diet, and exercise. Like fix yourself first so that you build up more energy. But then as you start to build up more energy and you start to build up your sexual energy as well, which is the most powerful energy that you have, and there's no taboo to talk about this. Everybody has it. Like you have a body that you walk around with, and your sexual energy, everybody has it. So I don't understand why people think it's taboo to talk about it. It's the way we work as human beings, right? But then this sexual energy, which is one of the most powerful energies that you have, you can literally transmute it into something else. So as Napoleon Hill here is stating, like sex transmutation is simple and easily explained. It means the switching of the mind from thoughts of physical expression to thoughts of some other nature. Exactly what I just talked about, right? So when you feel this aggression or this sexual energy or this sadness or this anger or this joy, whatever feeling it might be, you can just take that energy, because it's just energy. You're feeling like you need to do something, and then you just start to think about your definite chief aim, start to imagine your goal, and you can feel that energy being transmuted. That's the best way I can describe it. Like that feeling of sadness or joy or that sexual energy, like you can literally feel it go away, and you can feel that you're empowered. You're kind of building your future in the spiritual realm, or however you want to see it, right? You're basically building up your dream, and yeah, it's super powerful. Let's continue. And here's Nikola Tesla, and he also knew about this, so let's read. I recognize the importance that sex plays in the life of man. Nature has made its attraction irresistible to ensure the perpetuity of the race. As for myself, I found that the thinker is confronted with the problem of perpetuating either the species or mind. Before I produced the rotating magnetic field, I concentrated all my powers upon my experiment. The strain would have killed 100 oxen. I certainly could not have survived it if I had permitted my energies to be diverted into the channels of sex, right? So he's basically talking here again about the power of sexual energy. And Nikola Tesla, he basically died a virgin, or the rumor goes. So he understood this, and he basically transmuted all of his sexual energy into thinking, right? And you can say that he did pretty well, right? So yeah, okay. Here's a quote as well from the book called The Bite in the Apple, written by Steve Jobs' ex, essentially, his past girlfriend. And she wrote in the book, our birth control method up to that point was Steve's coitus interruptus, semen retention, also called the pull-out method, which for him was about his conserving his energy for work. Not reaching climax is a practice from the Eastern traditions of India and Japan that is passed between teacher and male student for the purpose of building focus and power, okay? Presumably for spiritual growth. But it is also a practice taught in the 1937 motivational book inspired by Andrew Carnegie, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which speaks to building power and wealth by conserving one's vital energies. This is powerful stuff, guys, right? So if you haven't learned about this before, this just goes to show that you have to respect your energy. All of your energy. Like sexual energy is one of the most powerful energies that you have, but you must respect your other energies as well. You need to remove your negative energy outlets and then start to implement more positive energy outlets that you can invest your energy into, right? But you also need to fix your sleep, diet, and exercise. That's like the basic thing. Like get your health in order first. Then if you start to respect your sexual energy as well, like, yeah, Steve Jobs knew about it, right? And he did pretty well for himself as well. Muhammad Ali. So this is from the autobiography, The Greatest, My Own Story. And it's basically his boxing coach, I think, who said this, right? So there's a kid who just came down here named Cassius Clay, or Muhammad Ali, right? If you bet on him every time he fights, you will be a rich man, because he won't lose a single fight. I believe his thing is sexual control, and he's got it. Any kid who control it can win the title, I believe it. Again, powerful words about utilizing and understanding and respecting your energies and your sexual energies as well, and putting that energy back of your definite chi fame, right? We have Kanye West as well, a bit of a controversial figure right now as well, but he's nonetheless, he's like a genius and he has accomplished a lot of things in his life, right? So I have like nuclear power, like a superhero, like Cyclops when he puts his glasses on. People ask me a lot about my drive. I think it comes from like having a sexual addiction at a really young age. Look at the drive that people have to get sex, to dress like this and get a haircut and be in the club in the freezing cold at 3 a.m. The places they go to pick up a girl. If you can focus that energy into something valuable, put that into work ethic, right? So he's talking about this here as well, like transmuting your sexual energy and just using that energy, because it's just energy that you feel. And instead of using that energy in like a sexual, like physical expression, you can use that and use that mainly towards your goals. And Napoleon Hill talks about that in his book as well, that he's not telling you that you're never going to have like use your sexual energy for physical expression ever again. He's just telling you that that's not the only way that you can use your energy. You can use your sexual energy to basically create a child. Or you can use that energy to like, you can basically birth a child into this world, or you can birth your ideas into this world. You can use this energy to literally birth your definite chief aim into this world. So it is powerful. And this is why I want to share this in the course and talk about it, because this is really the most powerful thing that you can utilize, right? And here's a clip from Elon Musk where he talks about this. So let's listen.
Then a great deal of like a massive amount of thinking, like truly stupendous amount of thinking has gone into sex without purpose, without procreation, which is actually quite a silly action in the absence of procreation. It's a bit silly.
Well,
so why are you doing it? Because it makes the limbic system happy. That's why.
That's why.
But it's pretty absurd, really.
Well, the whole of existence is pretty absurd in some kind of sense.
Yeah. But I mean, this is a lot of computation has gone into how can I do more of that with procreation not even being a factor. This is, I think, a very important area of research by NSFW.
An agency that should receive a lot of funding, especially after this conversation.
I propose the formation of a new agency.
Oh, boy.
So a fascinating clip, right? And he talked about this, he's on the podcast with Lex Friedman. And he's basically saying, right, that thinking about sex, like trying to figure out how to have more sex in the absence of like actually procreating. Like you want to have sex, but you don't want to have a kid. You just want to do more sex because it feels good, because it feels good for the limbic system that it talks about, right? Basically your old brain that is just trying to optimize for survival and basically procreate the humankind, right? And the limbic system, your old brain that wants like sex, food, and like a shelter, essentially, right? Just the vital things for survival. So it's basically saying here that, you know, just thinking about sex all the time because you just want to have more sex because it feels good, it's pretty silly, right? Because you're not gonna utilize that energy to create a child. So why are you spending so much of your thinking power into just thinking of that if you're not gonna produce a child anyways? So why not just transmute that energy and use it into something else? So Elon Musk is aware of this as well, and he's doing pretty well for himself. And he's running like he's the richest man in the world. So if you don't take it from me, take it from these other people that I've shown you. Like this is truly powerful. So I hope that you take this to heart and start to experiment with it and start to use it in your life. Because if you do, the people who start to do this, they're going to achieve such great things inside of the community. It's going to be truly, truly magical. All right, let's continue. So use your energy. Any strong feeling that you have can be transmuted and used towards your positive outlets. Like you can utilize anger, you can utilize fear, sadness, happiness, or your sexual energy. Any type of feeling that you have, whatever type of feeling it is, just see it as energy. It's like energy, you feel something, it's energy. So you can use that energy to just transmute it. You can use it to attack the gym harder, or you can use it, your energy into thinking. This is powerful, right? Thinking costs a lot of energy. It's worth gold literally. And we've talked about this over and over again. And Elon Musk just talked about this again. Like, don't think about sex. Like, why do you do that? It's pretty silly. Use that energy to like think about your goals and actually achieve things that can actually benefit yourself, your loved ones, your family, or more importantly, can benefit the entire world. That's pretty much what Elon is doing, right? He's just transmuting his energy because he want to help humankind. That's powerful stuff, okay? Sexual energy. How do you use it? Do you respect it? Most people have no idea how to handle it, right? They are a slave to it. Like porn addiction and masturbation is an epidemic, right? It drains your energy like nothing else. So learn how to master your sexual energy and become a genie, essentially, right? Become a genie, become a genius. Like the only way you can really become a genius is to learn how to control your energies. And if you're sleeping poorly, and if you're eating bad, and if you're not exercising, and you have a negative mindset, if you have negative relationships, and you're watching a ton of porn, and you're eating shit, and you're doing all of these negative things, like it's going to be pretty much impossible for you to start a successful business. I'm not saying that it's impossible, I'm sure you can. But if you fix all of these things, you're just going to be able to take yourself to a completely other level, right? And porn is huge, and I'm not afraid to talk about it because a lot of people are extremely addicted to it, and it's ruining their lives, right? I have no moral judgment on it. Like, people can do whatever they want to. I'm just telling you that in an energy aspect side of things, it is destroying people. It's literally destroying people. So don't do that to yourself. Learn how to respect your energy and learn how to respect yourself and take care of yourself and take care of your energy and invest it. Don't waste it on shit. Invest it in powerful things that will help you, your future self, your future family or your current family, your friends and loved ones, and more importantly, help more people around the world. Like you can have a big change on this world, but you have to get your shit together. You have to get yourself in order first, okay? Creation. So sexual energy has the power to birth a child into this world. It's amazing, right? But it also has the power to birth your definite chief aim into this world. Think about that. Don't waste it. Respect it and use it. Super powerful. And then transmuting. Again, any strong feeling or energy, because your feelings is basically just energy, right? You might have or feel can be transmuted. Attack the gym is a great thing to do, but using it for thinking and imagination is really the most powerful outlet you can use. I can't stress this enough. So learn how to think, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to think. We're just gonna set up a habit that you do every single day, 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the night, where you just sit down and give yourself some time to actually think and use your imagination and think into the future. And that's how you use your brain. You just give yourself some time to sit down and think. It's super simple, but pretty much no one is doing it. Express energy. So this is very important as well. So your body, right? So your body is your most valuable asset that you have. A lot of people want a supercar because it's so cool to have a super cool supercar, right? But why not just own a super body instead? Like a super body. Isn't that better? Isn't that even cooler to actually master yourself in a way so that you have a super body? Who cares about a supercar really, right? You can create one, like because again, everybody and anybody who starts makes money can buy a supercar, but not a lot of people can create a super body, right? So, and you can create a super body, right? You build your energy, take care of yourself, create a strong body, a lean, mean machine, be proud of it, and inspire others. So this is what I want to see inside of this community as well. Not only people changing their lives financially and starting a business, but actually just changing their lives physically and mentally as well, and starting to build a body that they like, that is full of energy and that they are proud of, essentially, right? This is how you fix your mental health as well. A strong body is a strong mind. If you're living like with your shitty habits and eating bad food, you're not sleeping enough, you're drinking a bunch of alcohols and taking a lot of drugs, in my opinion, it's pretty much impossible to not feel like shit as well. If your body is like shit, you're gonna feel like shit. And I just want to be direct with you now because this is the truth, and I want you to actually take this to heart and do something about it, because you now know exactly how to do all of these things. Geo has helped you, and you have the community to help you and guide you as well. And we're gonna talk about having accountability partners as we continue as well. And like creating a super body, it doesn't mean that you have to build a ton of muscle and be super strong. Like everybody would have their own goals, right? My goal is that I just want to lose fat. I don't want to be super bulky and super big. I want to become stronger and build muscle definitely, for sure. But I just want to have a lean, mean machine. I want to put good things into my body. I want to lose fat. I want to look great. I want to feel great, and I want to be able to show that as well. I want to be when people look at me, I want people to see that I'm full of energy. Because people, they do, and people will feel like, if you do that for yourself as well and you walk into a room, people will feel your energy. They will literally feel it, and without even looking at you, they will feel like that somebody's stepping into the room, right? So your body, super important. 90 days as well. You can accomplish tremendous things in just 90 days. Imagine what you can do in a year, okay? Care for and put value on your own temple, meaning your body. Make it the best it possibly can be. It's your most valuable asset. Health is wealth. And also going on a 90-day challenge like this, or a lifetime challenge, in my opinion, it's fun. Like, it's fun to improve. It's fun to change. And when you know what to do, I think that's the biggest problem. It certainly was for me, because I knew that I wanted to change, but I didn't really know how to do it. And that's how Gio helped me a ton, because he basically just came into my life and just showed me, like, this is what we're going to do. Now you just have to do it. And I did, and it got results. And then that's when it becomes fun. Like, you start to see you dropping fat, you're getting more energy, and start to fix all of these things, right? And it also inspire others. Once you start to build your energy and change yourself, show the world, right? Start to dress well, look sharp. People will be able to feel your energy when you enter the room. They will notice that you're different, right? And and again, it goes back to, you cannot only control one of these aspects. You need to fix your sleep, you need to fix your diet, you need to exercise, fix all of your other types of control, your positive thinking, also, or fix your thinking. At least do not think negatively, and also start to spend more time thinking about your future, have your definite G fame, and also start to control your vices, your negative outlets, start to control your sexual energy and build it. Like, start to respect these things, and you will inspire a lot of other people by doing this. And also, I have this thing in here, dress well, like start to look sharp, like, because this is something, a vision that I have for this community as well. Like, imagine thousands of people, maybe even hundreds of thousands, or why not just millions of people that have gone through this course. They've changed their life financially by building a business, but also their mental health and their physical health. And you can just see like thousands of people looking super sharp. You can see that they're full of energy. They're lean, they look mean, and they have lean, mean machine, and they're all dressing well and just looking sharp. That's kind of the vision that I have for this community. So, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about clothing here in just a second as well. Okay. So express energy, set high standards for yourself as well, improve your sleep, your diet, and your exercise, value your energy, invest it wisely. This is how you will build true wealth, not only a successful business and more money, but more life, essentially, right? So here's a quote from the Bible, right? Matthew 5:14 to 5:16. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So it's basically talking about this, right? As you start to build more positive things, show the world, inspire other people. That's why it's so powerful as well that you start to inspire other people inside of the community as well, like with your wins and so forth, and as you make more sales and so forth as well. But this also goes back to your energy, like take care of your temple, take care of yourself, build up your energy, start to dress well and inspire other people. Just show them what's possible, right? That's really the biggest flex that you can do, in my opinion, because you can look at somebody and you can see if they're wealthy, if they have true wealth or not. Basically, if they have energy. Energy is everything. Like, if you don't have energy, you have nothing. If you have energy, you have everything, because you can do whatever you want with that energy. And you can just look at a person and see if they have a lot of energy, because they're dressing well, they're building up a lot of energy. If you look them in the eyes, you can almost see their spark like you can see in their eyes that they have energy, essentially, right? And so yeah, that's what they talk about in this verse as well. Like, as you start to do this and start to take care more of yourself, dress up, look great, look sharp, and show other people. Like you don't put a candle underneath the table, right? You put it on the table to light up the entire room, right? So yeah, let's continue. So powerful words. Do good in the world and then inspire others to do the same. Change your own life and be an example for others. And you must have energy to accomplish all of this. If you don't have energy, it's going to be impossible to do this. So here's a clip as well from Jordan Peterson where he talks about the importance of dressing up essentially. So let's listen to it.
When I went out on tour in 2018, before I went out, I thought I wanted to do this like 100% right, or at least as close to that as I could manage. So I went out and bought some expensive suits, and I spent way more money than I ever thought I'd spend on clothes, and I really felt quite bad about it. You know, I thought maybe it was an extravagance, but I thought, no way, man, I'm gonna see if I can nail this dead on, and I'm gonna be speaking to, 100,000 people. I'm gonna look as sharp as I possibly can. And one of the consequences of that has been that young men in particular come to the lecture tour dressed up in suits, three-piece suits. Or the couples come and they're dressed up like they're coming to a wedding, so that's really something. And
why do you think that is? Is it because you set that
they're
standard?
Sick acting like kids.
Okay.
Our whole culture pushes the idea that teenage life, or even childhood for that matter, but teenage life is some sort of pinnacle, and then everybody dresses down so they look, especially men, they look like overgrown 10-year-olds, and there's something extremely demeaning about that. And so to provide people with the opportunity to dress up in a classic manner and to look like adults, to present themselves in that manner, there's something very attractive about that, because we haven't done that in our culture. That's been, I would say, downplayed in importance or for certainly since the 1960s.
Who's to blame for that? Because you recall, anytime you would fly in an airplane, if you see old school pictures, people were dressed in three-piece suits to go on an airplane. This is in the 60s, I assume. Yeah. And then now you see someone like Mark Zuckerberg wear a t-shirt to give a speech in front of a TED Talk or something like that. So
well,
who's to blame for this dress down?
Some of it's just fashion, fashion moves around, and it usually drifts from the top down. And so when formality becomes the norm, but that drifts down, say, to the working class, then the upper class thinks, well, we can't do that because that would, associate us with the unfashionable people, and then they dress down. And so then that drifts down the hierarchy. And so there's some of it's just fashion, but a lot of it too is this idea that this sort of reflexive, rebellious attitude that anything that violates traditional norms, or even anything that's associated with patriarchal oppression and adulthood, is to be eliminated in favor of what's hypothetically a more free individuality, but it's not, because everybody looks the same. I was in Washington 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer than that. It's probably longer than that, when I first went in the summer. And one of the things that really struck me, all these people wandering around these great monuments, is all the men looked like overgrown 10-year-olds. They looked exactly like their kids, except they were bigger. They looked like they'd been inflated with a bicycle pump. And I thought, this is weird that adults are dressing like children, and not good. And so some of it's fashion, but some of it's also that.
Is it exclusive in America? How about in Canada? What have you seen all over the world with this?
No, I don't think it's exclusive to America. I think it was more noticeable to me in Washington, and I think that's when it really hit me, because Washington is, in some sense, a place of pilgrimage, and people from every class go there, and that's a good thing, and they should, from every economic class. And so it was like it was a real cross section of the total population, and that was one of the things that struck me quite bluntly.
So a very powerful clip there from Jordan Peterson, and shout out to Success Chases as well. I got that video from their YouTube channel, so definitely check that out if you want to watch the entire clip. But like the quote there that really stood out for me in that video is that all men look like overgrown 10-year-olds, right? It's pretty funny, but it's true. And the reason why I wanted to start to dress up a little bit more nicer as well is because I wanted to feel like an adult. Like, I didn't want to feel like a kid anymore. Like, I'm walking around with jeans and t-shirts every single day, and I'm like, why? Like, I'm personally 32 years old right now. Like, it's about time that I start to like look a bit sharp and like take care of myself. And as you start to build up your energy as well, and you do all of these things that I'm talking about, you start to look at yourself in the mirror and like, hey, I need to like I need to express my energy better, like and dressing up a little bit more. You don't have to have like a 3-piece suit necessarily. Maybe you don't even want to have a shirt or whatever. Or maybe you want to dress your own certain way, but at least you take care of your appearance, essentially, right? All right, so let's summarize this video. First of all, definite Chief Aim. So buy Think and Grow Rich, cannot stress that enough. Read it, write your definite Chief Aim, and then you read the definite Chief Aim every single morning and night. And we're gonna put the plan up for this in a coming video here very soon as well. And then energy, start to be aware of your energy, respect it, don't waste it, invest it. And also remember what we talked about with the transmutation. All of these genius people that really understood their sexual energy and how to transmute it, or how to transmute all of their different energies into thinking and doing great things for the world. Elon Musk as well, right? Super powerful stuff. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow on Instagram for important updates regarding the course. Share the course as well. Let's start a revolution and change people's lives together. And for today's quote, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, right? So in the keyword here, for me at least, is the energy. It's really, and I think this really summarizes this video very well. So if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Start to respect your energy and build it, okay? So that's it for today's video. Let's get to work, and I will see you in the next video.